Welcome everyone to November 8th, actually 2022. So I got a little strike on my station. So what's going to happen now is I've taken down all of the videos in case I've said something that would be misinterpreted or considered information. A lot of people know that the work that I do is just, looking at things that are going on to improve the connections and communication in the body. But obviously that's going to be misinterpreted if I say certain things. So I'm going to be very cautious today. I'm going to leave this video up, I think. And then in the future, you would have to come on live so you can write to me. Go to my website, leurbanretreat.com. I'll put it in the link in the description so that you can connect with me directly, and I'll give you, if you don't have the link, to get onto our Zoom meetings. Actually, if you get a reply at the bottom of the email, will be the Zoom meeting you can connect with. And that way we're going to be doing everything live. You have to come on. And if you do want a copy of the session, it will be $25 to get the audio of the recording, if you want that session from that day. And for Canadians, it will be $25 Canadian if you send by Interac or by check. Otherwise, if it's with credit card or PayPal, anything like that, then it's $25 to account for all the costs. And that's for admin fees, okay? So we're going to be working with abundance today. So this shouldn't be a difficult topic. This is really, supporting us to look at whatever, beliefs we have, or even contracts and pacts and wishes from past lifetimes. And also our family history, because some people have poverty mentality that gets carried down, and we could break all that stuff. Now, for those of you who are Reiki level 2 practitioners, you can make an adjunct to this abundance video, which means you can do your Reiki grid. Some teachers teach it in level 2, some teach it in level 3. However, whatever level you're at, you make your grid. And I would use, a photo of myself. And maybe if you have a business, you could put your business card in there. If you don't have a business, that's fine. You just put a photo and just write abundance on it. And you could put your 3 Reiki level 2 symbols on there and then set your grid up accordingly. And we'll connect this session and whatever work we do to setting that intention. And remember, before we even start, a lot of us get really uptight about things. Like if you want something, that wanting creates a desire. And that desire creates a contraction. And that's not a good way to wish for anything or ask for anything, or even command God, the universe, whatever you like to ask for. Some people tell me I command her, the goddess. And I don't necessarily find that a very strong thing to ask for, the mother of God, because it's always a woman or the female that tells the male what to do. So my feminine tells my masculine what to do. So when I'm in this place of commanding, I'm going to command God to give me what I'm asking for. I command you, God, to bring me abundance, or I command you, God, to open all lines of abundance to me. Okay. And we're covering, I don't care, in this particular session, those of you who are abundant and go, well, I don't need any more, please keep in mind that it's okay if you have more, because the more you spend, the more you have, the better it is for all of us. It's just really good. So if you're on here and you have abundance and it doesn't really concern you, just tune in so your abundance grows even more, and you can spend and you make the world go around, right? Money makes the world go around, right? We just let everything go around. But for us who are, have, more constricted finances, right? We're more constricted. We have particular beliefs. I can give you my personal belief. I always feel it's better to help than earning money, which has gotten me into a lot of trouble because I end up helping a lot of people. And then I go, oops, I forgot to help myself. I forgot to get that exchange. And now I'm a little bit in the hole. So now I got to muster the energy to go and help, go and do more work so I can help myself. So that's not always a good belief system to have, right? It's not, of course it's good to help people. I go on here for free every single week to help the world, to help all of us. And that's great. But, the rest of the time, we need to make sure that there's this exchange going on, that we're not over falling onto one belief. That's just one belief. So maybe now, as you breathe and relax, just notice, what are your beliefs about money? Sometimes it's always been this way. I get what I need. What's more like? I don't know what that's like. And even just feel, I often do this and I see, where do I have, it's a very feeling sense that I look and I go, okay, bring abundance to me. I command you, universe, to bring abundance to me. And sometimes I feel areas, or kind of see them, that they're dark. Then I look in those areas. I look in, I go, what the heck's in there? What's in there? What is in there? You could just ask the question. You don't need to find the answer. It might come up today, in a few days, in a week, a month. But what's in there? So as you notice that, we're going to start working with pacts and contracts that we have. So I am going to use this big one, since it already came up, is it's better to give than to receive. I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. It's lovely to give. I have way more fun giving. Giving is way more fun to me. Receiving is like, okay, that's very nice. But wow, if I give a gift, I get way more pleasure than when I receive a gift. Way more pleasure. So maybe it means that. But we kind of take it a little bit rigidly, that it's always better to give than to receive. Well, I don't think giving and receiving can occur without each other. They're partners. And when you think of, here's the giving hand, that's your right hand, left hand is the receiving hand. So they're always working together. You won't have anything to give if you're never receiving. So it's always happening. But whatever that means is fine. We're not like, I'm not looking at it going, no, it's a bad thing. It's only becomes hard when we actually think, giving, I shouldn't receive. That's a very different concept. So think about that. And while you think about that, lay your hands in front of you and see which hand has more tension. It may not have, it might be just actually, does one hand have more tension than the other? Is one hand freer than the other? Maybe they're the same. Maybe they're the same. You could be in total balance. I don't know. I can feel this hand is way more open and this one is contracted. And interestingly enough, in palmistry, this bump here, this fatty piece, when it's really soft and fleshy, it means there's lots of money there. Lots of money. Mine, if you look at it, it's really tight. Very, very tight. So there isn't a lot of money there. There just isn't. So, I'm not saying that's a given, but it's interesting to know. And as I'm doing this, I feel how tight it is here. Like, oops, I'm not receiving that abundance. And remember, it's not just about money, right? It's about receiving love. It's about friendship. It's about maybe quality of friendship, not the number of friends. It's the quality of friendship. Maybe it's the quality of emotional content. Maybe it's how you see things, in your life. Because if we're a little bit closed, and I'll be really honest about myself, throughout my life, I've had a lot of trouble receiving, and usually my hand goes, no, thank you. No, that actually hurts now, right through here. It's hurting. I go, no, thank you. Please don't do that. Don't do that. So that's a tough one. And I'm sweating even. So maybe just move your hand a little bit. If it's doing that, or if it's the other hand, if it's the giving hand, that's fine. Just play around with it. And we just want to open that up. So this hand is going to receive. Most of us are, I'm not going to say everyone on the planet, but most of us are pretty nice, right? We're nice people. I mean, look around, everything works. It functions. We can go out, we can drive down the street. We have, grocery stores. We have so much that's working. Okay, yes, a plane is delayed. All right, but we can get on a plane and go somewhere. All right, so it's delayed these days. Things operate, right? We got running water. Yeah, we got even in terrible conditions, we know that there are so many people working on helping bring people out of poverty. You can check out humanprogress.org. It's the only site I've seen that talks about the positive things us human beings do. So remember, all that's going on, and we're all supporting each other. So just notice how your hand feels. I already feel a release in there. A release. And now we'll go quiet and just notice again, is anything coming up? Is something trying to communicate with you? Are you triggered? You could, whatever I say might trigger something that evokes some of your beliefs. And then you could look at those, and we're going to help break those contracts. So some of the contracts are, how am I going to word this? I'm still going back to, it's better to give than to receive. So there's religious contracts we have, right? The virtue of poverty. So then the 7 deadly sins come up, right? So greed, I don't want to take too much. All right, so contracts, I won't be greedy, right? So we're not always balancing the virtues with the sins. We're usually leaning more heavily on one side to battle the other rather than really thinking about it. So I want to break those contracts that tell us I cannot be greedy versus, okay, so let me not, be too greedy. I'm not going to be the first one to, always go for the buffet table. I'm not going to be the one who's always, standing first in line. I'm just going to do it naturally. Natural. That's the naturalness. So sure, there's sins and their virtues, and they help us walk that line between order and chaos, but strongly resisting one and going to the other can also be perceived as greed. I want to greedily be virtuous. Think about that for a minute. Now you might be really triggered about that. I want to greedily be the nice person, the kind person, right? That can come up. All right, so we're just helping the body mind clear up things so we can ask for abundance that is what is available here. It's available. It's available. And once you have it, it's part of the circulation of abundance on the planet. It's part of the circulation of abundance on the planet. You're paying for electricity, you're paying your mortgage, you're paying your rent, you're paying your whatever it is, your food, your clothing, you're paying the government, all these things. Sometimes I think that we don't notice how much we're giving out. And we're so focused on, how am I going to take this little bit in? But we don't notice how much is going out. Gosh, I'm just noticing this. I'm not noticing, wow, there's rent, there's electricity, there's heat, there's cleaning, there's water, there's garden, there's property taxes, there's so much. So it's really good to have. Healthy. I don't want to use good because good and bad always create little problems. Well, that's good. It's really healthy to have. It's a state of health. And lots. And everybody's gonna have different levels. That's fine too. I may not want to be an Elon Musk. That's a heck of a lot of stuff you need to do to be Elon Musk. No, not interested. Yeah, I don't want to do all that. But be nice to, be able to sit back sometimes. I don't know, a lot of us that come on this group, we're hard workers. And some of us are in our 60s, some of us in our 70s. And, we're working to make ends meet. That's tough going for some of us as we age, tough going. And there's no reason it can't be fluid, moving. So check your hands again. Can't believe it, but doing this, I just got a cramp through my arm. And that's the colon meridian. Through this colon or lung, colon. Right? It goes through the elbow and control. So whether it's me or because we're doing this for the planet, everybody, goes through the elbow. Elbows control issues. So quite a bit of control. If it's on the left side, it's control of letting go, of receiving. If it's on your right side, it's control of letting go. Control of letting go. Control of receiving, control of giving. Right arm, control of giving. Left arm, control of receiving. You may not have an issue, right? Remember that. You might not have any. You might not be totally balanced. That's fine. But for those of us who are imbalanced, you just want to look at it and we'll just give that colon meridian a place to move so we can move the contracts that relate to these sins and virtues that we get really obsessed about, rather than a nice healthy view of I'm walking the middle road and I know how to take care of myself. Moderation. And breathe. And you might notice your belly. I'm noticing the belly right now as though it's filling up. And it wants to, there we go, that typical burping that I do, where the belly is just synthesizing all these decisions. I've been making decisions in a certain way all my life about abundance. And now it's shifting. So the nervous system in the gut makes decisions. We're just looking at it. You can feel it. It's just adjusting. Of course, all of you at a different pace. Mine feels really extreme. It pushed right out and then it came back in. All right. I don't know, this greedy for wanting to receive. I just can't believe how strong that is. Greed at receiving. It's not wanting to receive. If I'm going to receive, I feel greedy. I feel like a bad person. I should do my work and get the absolute minimum. And we're going to look at that as a contract of disrespecting myself for the benefit of others. Disrespecting myself for the benefit of others. That's going to make me a good person. So just feeling to disrespect might not be what I said. It can be something else that's running through your body mind. Where do you disrespect yourself? You might disrespect your feelings. You might end up in your head a lot and disrespect what's going on in your body. Remember, a lot of us make these assumptions about how we feel and what we need to do in life, and it takes over. And the gut brain can't make decisions. And we drive ourselves absolutely crazy with an assumption about life and ourselves. That's not going to be very good for abundance, like abundance of joy, abundance of health, abundance of play. Even though in play it can be hard, but wouldn't it be nice that the whole day is like play? The whole day is like play. Yeah, you didn't sit around going, well, I shouldn't take that much sand in the sandbox. Did anyone do that? No, I don't think so. We just went in the sandbox and we played. And if somebody wanted some sand, you might go, oh, okay, take some. Or do you want to join us? Or, it was playful. It was playing. I don't remember arguments in the sandbox unless some kid took another kid's toy. But I don't remember arguments in the sandbox. I remember this kind of flowing communal work, which in so many ways we're doing on the planet. But each of us as individuals start adopting these contracts. So please, you have to say out loud wherever you are, I break my contracts to receiving. No, how are we going to word it? I break all contracts to limiting reception of abundance. I break all contracts limiting reception to abundance. I break all contracts limiting receptions to abundance. And then we go straight from there into family history. And these are breaking their convictions, but they also come out as, pacts and really linking to goodness, right? These are all good things that we do as a family. We just, whoa, now that the pain just went right up to my shoulder. So the shoulder carries, all of that ancestry, right? It's the burden of the ancestry. And also, it's coming up as the burden of everyone who lacks on the planet. How can I ask for something when other people have it worse? So remember, those of you who are abundant, that's important that you remember the more you have, the better it is for everybody. To get more. That way you can, if you feel like, oh, I have too much, I can't, have that much, well, have more and help some people out, to start some businesses, support people who need to create money. Whatever you like. You can look around the world and see, where can I put all this beautiful extra abundance I have? And then for those of us who don't have as much or who struggle, we're going to look at, let's get off the shoulder our ancestry and also worry. This is obsession and worry of having more than someone who has not. It's not very effective, is it? So I'm actually shifting the shoulder and looking at that. Wow, this really jeepers hurts. Okay, so pacts, contracts, deals. It's bad to have. No. We're just telling it, no, we got to remove it from the family history. That's up through 8th chakra. So very different to say love of abundance, because that the love of money is the root of all evil. It's not money is the root of all evil. It's the love of money. But we can love abundance. Don't we love a beautifully abundant garden, abundant health? When you see somebody, who just gets a new car and, they've been working really hard to get it. It doesn't have to be with that parameter, but, you look at somebody and you go, wow. But very often we look over at the neighbor and they say they have and I don't. That's resentment and jealousy. Okay, so let's help anyone. I don't think in this group there's a problem with that, but a lot of people in the world can look over and feel resentful and jealous if it triggers you or it's somewhere in your family history. My dad was kind of cool. He never looked at the neighbors. He always taught me, what do you care what anybody else has? Just enjoy your life. It's like, oh, such a good thing. Such a nice thing. So here's your life, but you don't need any walls or barriers to your happiness, your fullness of health, your abundance in all ways. Okay, that includes relationship. That includes love. That includes, some people need or want or ready to get married. There's that too. and just breathe. There was a stress on which one? I don't know which one I said that just caused a stress in the diaphragm. Relationship? No. Wanting to get married. That one's got a stressor in it. You know, something I said I didn't like was needing a relationship and wanting to get married. And there's a big difference between needing and wanting, right? Oh, I want to get married. That's one thing. I need to get married. That's a problem. That will curtail the abundance. So, just thinking about the abundance of sharing a life with someone. Maybe we could look at it that way. I feel that's good. And the abundance of sharing, life with someone, it's abundant. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. But if you got all these beliefs, well, as we know, we push away the partner. If you have very strong convictions, the partner can't come in. And you might think for very good reasons. I'm afraid. Yeah, sure. But sometimes you have to look at the path you're on. Is it more fearful to be by myself for the rest of my life? Yeah. If you love it, no problem. If you love being alone and that's abundant to you, more kudos to you. Some people love it. But for others, it's kind of nice to have someone to share, sitting on the rocking chair in the old age, arguing about stupidities. I love that. Sit there having your dumb conversations. Why are you doing that again, hubby? I don't know. I love aggravating you, wifey. You're funny when you start freaking out. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's really wonderful. Oh, that felt really good. The arm just released on that. I don't even know what I'm saying that is causing this arm thing, and that just released it. Okay, let's go with that. Somehow it's going right to the coccyx. So all these packs, coming through the nervous system, the contracts, the beliefs and convictions coming right through. It's going to the tip of the coccyx. So it's almost like, let's drain it out of there too. All right. So now you probably thought of a lot of things during the session. So now you're going to make your command. Okay, so be honest. Ask for exactly what you want. You don't have to, if it's money, you don't have to ask for the number. You don't have to say, I want, $3.40. You don't have to do that. But now just from this space, so hopefully your body feels a lot more relaxed, a lot more, mind is feeling relaxed, that pain is gone, the shoulders are more upright. And from this place, be objective. And you're just telling the universe exactly what it needs to hear so it can respond to you. Right? That's all you're doing. Because most people ask, these foggy things, and then it doesn't happen. So from this place, objectivity, ask for exactly what you want. So, gosh, I can't even find the words I want to say. I command you could say God or universe, whatever you prefer. I command you, universe, to bring me abundance in everything. Make sure you verbalize it. You make it what's called tamasic. And you could write it on a piece of paper and put it on your altar. And you could go by every day. If you see it on the piece of paper and you go, I don't like that. That's the way I asked it or what I asked for. You could change it or change its position. So if you have an altar, let's pretend that's my altar. Oops, right there. See that there? So let's say I put a piece of paper, I could go by every day and see if it needs to be moved. I might just move it a smidge. Or I might take it and go, I need to make these words a little bit more accurate. So have some fun with that. And we can't really put a time limit on it. But if you're noticing things aren't happening, go back and start again. Make sure you're following some of the parameters here, that your command is clear, that you're honestly asking for exactly what you want. You can't ask for too many things. Like the way I asked for it, I want abundance and everything. That's great, but you can't start saying, I want my husband and I want my money, and I focus on one thing at a time, okay? Because it's too much for our consciousness to manage. Because as it goes along, you start to realize a lot of things. You become more and more grateful for what you do have. Yeah, that gratitude comes in. And that gratitude also opens up space for more to come in. All right, my loves, thank you and see you next week. A huge hug to everybody. Bye.